welcome to the Interaxis channel, interaxis.io. We want to talk today about DeFi. We talked about decentralized finance and DeFi before, but we want to talk about how it is unlocking or has the potential to unlock so much value that's trapped. And we talk about value, we're not just talking about money that's sitting in your pocket or something, which we've talked about before, but unlocking value. First, we want to remind you, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. If not, on our website, see our academy that's starting up where we're teaching you about not only investing in crypto and investing in DeFi, how to keep it safe, what it means, how to evaluate all that, but teaching you about how to use it, how to utilize decentralized finance to maybe get around always using banks or get around always using financial companies that you've been accustomed to because of the friction and the fees that they present. And this might be a way to help you get away from some of those frictions and some of those fees. So anyway, hope you subscribe. Hope you will try our membership, try our academy, and we hope it helps you. But getting back, DeFi, unlocking value. This is something that we've talked about and thought about. In the past, we've talked about how DeFi is so important in unlocking value because the purpose of the financial system, this is going back to some of our previous lessons, previous videos, the purpose really of the financial system is to take money, to get money that I might have that is not being utilized, right? So it's just sitting in the bank, earning nothing. Or it's worse, it's sitting in my pocket, doing nothing. And we want to get it to an efficient use, right? An efficient use might be someone using it for a business, right? Now, currently, it is not very easy to efficiently get money from me, from my pocket, to someone else to use for their business, whether that be a business loan or an investment. There are all sorts of regulations involved, and there are banks involved. There are middlemen in the middle. There are intermediaries. And so what we talk about with first Bitcoin, crypto, DeFi is the disintermediation. The fact that at this point, if I wanted to do this, I take money and I put it in my bank, and then my bank decides possibly to lend that out to someone else that has a business. And if they lend it out at 7% interest, hopefully this person is really good at managing that business and can make more than that 7%. Well, what am I going to get back? I'm going to get like 0.01% at current rates. So the bank is taking that spread there and they're using it to conduct their business. And again, it's not a horrible thing they're doing because we've needed them in the past. We have needed banks in order to hold the money and keep it safe, and then we've needed them to underwrite and find the good investments over here in terms of lending. Now, if we're talking about this not as a bank but as an investment, now if this is an investment, we either need to have access to the venture capital deal or the private equity deal, the angel round, or the friends and family, or we can do this in the form of investment in a public company. But once it's a public company, I'm no longer, if I buy Apple stock currently in the market, I'm not really, I haven't contributed to Apple at all. Right, they've already raised their money from the public. That's already done. Now they can do secondary raises and tertiary raises, and they can go issue debt if they want to. But if I buy stock on a secondary market, I'm not contributing to that company anymore. So my ability to participate, my ability to get my money that isn't being utilized to some other business that's going to actually produce is not there. And we've talked about this in DeFi terms, where this business, this relationship where I can get money straight to this business, whether it's a loan or whether it's an investment, is facilitated by decentralized finance because of the fact that I can contribute money in the crypto form, in the DeFi form, so that we circumvent. We don't necessarily have to go through banks that are going to take so many fees, that are going to utilize their pipes, and we don't go through as much regulation because I can do this in a peer-to-peer manner. And in a peer-to-peer manner might go through some sort of algorithm, through some sort of protocol However, it's still done in a way that it doesn't utilize the kind of bank and traditional finance infrastructure. And that is unlocking value that's sitting in my pocket, whether it's money sitting in my pocket or money sitting in some sort of investment account that's not earning a whole lot, getting to someone who can do something else with it. And this someone might be able to earn a higher return for themselves, hire more people, and pay me a higher return. So it's about the whole global economy getting better. Now, that is not the only value we can unlock, but we'll talk about that first, because of course I can unlock more value from the money sitting in my pocket, right? I can unlock more value, of course, by lending it. And the way, this is the example I just gave, but the way I currently lend usually is I put my money in a bank, they promise to keep it safe, they outsource some of that to the government in the US in the form of FDIC insurance, and then they go lend it out to someone else. And this is how the system works. They get to keep the spread because they charge an interest rate here, they give me some minuscule interest rate here, and they get to charge the spread. Okay, so that is how I have done it in the past. Now, the way I get to do it now in the DeFi world, of course, already is I can put my money in some sort of protocol. So this can be Compound, this can be Aave, this can be so many of the other protocols, Definer, all these other protocols out there that I can put my money into and earn some interest rate back because now I'm a liquidity provider. And this protocol, this algorithm, is seeing other people that are going to borrow money for whatever their purpose is, and all they have to do is contribute something as collateral, and they're going to pay back some interest rate, which is going to, most of which is going to get pushed over to me. So I'm benefiting, I'm getting more value out of lending than I was in the past when I had to go through the bank to do it, when I had to use the bank as the intermediary. Now I get so much more value. So much more value is passed on to those that are the liquidity providers, those that are providing this money to be borrowed by someone else who will do something else with it. So that's where we are unlocking some value. This is value that was being kind of trapped in banks that is now being unlocked. Okay, and for me, I get a higher interest rate here. This person, this business, whatever it is, might not have had access to this money, might not have had access to get a loan because of where they live or what they need to borrow it for or what they're offering up as collateral, and now they have that opportunity. So this is the promise of DeFi. Of course, right now it's mostly people getting loans to do more crypto trading or something else in crypto or yield farming or something, but in the future, this is part of the promise. But where else can I unlock some value? Where else is DeFi going to help me unlock some value that I might have trapped? Well, recently we've seen the growth of NFTs, right? Non-fungible tokens. And we've seen it mainly in the art world. We've seen it a bit in music, and we've even delved into it slightly with athletes that have tried to tokenize a contract or something. But what we're going to see in the future is artists, whether they're painting, whether they're sculpting, whether they're creating music, what have you, they're going to take their community that they built or their network that they build, and we've talked about this before, and they're going to be able to create more value there because they're going to not have to go through so many intermediaries to get their art viewed or their music played, and they're going to be able to create and get others to maybe somewhat invest in what they've created and do so in a more direct manner. So they're going to utilize their network to create some sort of token. So this is from the artist creating their network and generate some sort of tokens. This could be NFTs for the art, NFTs. This could be NFTs that are social tokens around their particular community or network. If I'm a member of this community or member of this network, I might get something special. I might get some of their art. I might get tickets to a show. I might get to participate in the royalty of this particular creator. Okay, this could be writers. This could be people doing research, and they can sell their research. They can sell their their writing, their journalistic writing. They can sell their books or whatever this way without necessarily having to rely on so many other intermediaries along the way taking a cut. So this is where we're unlocking some value. Some people that are good at what they do, that haven't had the ability to get their wares out, to get their art out, to get their creations out there, are now going to potentially have this ability to get these creations out there and monetize and figure out a way to get paid. So where else are we seeing opportunities to create more value? In the past, we've seen it. What we've seen in the creator world is not new. It's the YouTube creators, the Instagram and such, that in the past have created their YouTube channel that has all these followers. And the way they've had to monetize in the past, of course, is they have had to sell ads, right? They've had to sell ads on YouTube. Or they've had to take their network and sell a newsletter or sell subscriptions or sell a course or something. But now they don't all have to do that. So this is not necessarily new. What we also see is what we've also seen already is what we call the spare economy, something that came up with the advent of both the internet and then smartphones. So this is where we saw Airbnb. This is where we saw Uber and Lyft. Right, and what this basically said is, let's take some value that's being pent up, some value maybe in some property you have, or even a spare room that you have, or some value you have in your car and your spare time, and go, let's figure out how to get some value out of that, and let's help you go give people a ride. And we can pay you for it, because now we have the technology to be able to do that. Of course, this upset some things. This upset the hotel industry. This upset the taxi and the limo industry that have always worked a certain way, but they pushed the boundaries. This was the spare economy. This is, how can I more efficiently get money for something I have that's extra? So what we're going to see is those that have something to offer, whether it's expertise in the realm of education or courses, whether it's writing, whether writing articles, writing research, writing books, whether it's creating art, creating music, and this could be something they do full-time or something they do part-time, but they're going to be able to more easily unlock that value because there's so much more availability, so much more ability to not only create something that they can call their own, but the ability for payments without having to go over all these rails. Okay, this is a big part. Micropayments are a big part. And what this means is someone anywhere in the world can offer something, whether it's an article or a book, whether it's some piece of content, it could be music, it could be art. They can offer it and know that they can charge for it. And since we don't necessarily have to use the banking rails, they get more money for what they produce. We will see the same things with work. Right, there are so many in the world, and what we've seen is an explosion of this on Upwork and Fiverr, especially, where you have so many people that are really good at what they do anywhere in the world, and I can connect with them and have them help me with my website or some sort of digital marketing or so many other aspects of my business. But I have to find them, I have to pay them. They usually have to pay a 20% fee to whatever provider they're using, which of course the provider has earned it because they've built the system, they've built the network. But what if that particular person, whether a particular digital marketer or website designer, could now have their own reputation score and do it all utilizing NFTs and utilizing blockchain technology and actually get paid more? And I can pay them with crypto. I can pay them with USDC or DAI or Bitcoin or something. And we don't have to use credit cards, and we don't have to go over the traditional payment rails. And they can have their own following and their own network without having to base it on something like Upwork or Fiverr. That is most likely something that's coming, and there are some companies that are already working on some technology and some protocols that are like this. So where else do we have value that we can unlock? Now, if I have an expertise, not only can I offer it up to people and say, look, you can utilize my expertise in, again, digital marketing, web design, art, something like that. But what if I have an expertise in choosing stocks or in data design? Well, what if I can stake my reputation, right? We're seeing that with a company called Numerai, or a protocol or a token called Numerai, where people are looking at data and trying to model and create the best model for data that eventually gets utilized to build funds, to build hedge funds, or to build investment funds. And the way they're doing it so that people don't look at all this data and submit 100 different data models, is they're saying you get a certain number of their numeraire token, and you have to stake it. So you have to stake your reputation or stake your expertise and your reputation, so that you can't just go submit a whole bunch of entries into something. You have to go, no, this is my expertise. I'm going to stake my reputation, and if I don't get it right, or I lose, or I'm completely wrong, then I lose some of my tokens. So staking, something like staking tokens, staking my expertise, is going to be really important, because that's staking my reputation. So speaking of reputation, what is something else that we see where we are unlocking some value? And this is another really important one in the realm of credit. Okay, if I have worked my life to build up a really good credit score, which means I've paid my bills on time, I don't have too much in the way of credit outstanding, of money that I've borrowed, okay, and I have a really good credit score, well, I can use that for me and my family, but it's really hard to use that for someone else, short of co-signing a loan or something. But now there are groups like Aave, Maple Finance is doing this, and some others that allow me to actually utilize some of my credit to be able to help others attain some credit themselves, right? So if I have a credit score of 850, which would be great, and someone else has, say, a 500, and I could help them with some of my credit. So if we're in the crypto world, if we're in the Aave world, I can help with what's called credit delegation. That says that I'm going to take some of my credit and delegate it here, and I might take some of my credit and delegate it to someone else. And I can get paid for that. I can actually get paid for having good credit. And now I can almost have another income stream where I go, look, I'm going to look at these people, and I'm going to help them out, but it's not a charity thing. I'm going to get paid. But part of what I've done is I've evaluated them and their credit myself, and I've decided it's okay to delegate my credit to those people. And maybe I form some function where they have to stake something to me, that if they don't pay me back, I get to take something of theirs. They create some sort of collateral just to me, because I'm putting my reputation and my credit on the line. That's another place we see where we're unlocking value. So the key is there's so much untapped value that we've had, and it started again with like the sharing economy. It started with the gig economy, where you were able to take services that people had, or time that they had, or a car, or a spare bedroom, and use the internet to more easily get it into a marketplace where others can not only utilize it, but then there's a reputation market, there's reviews, there's payment systems so that you can get paid, there's insurance systems built on top of it, there's credit systems built on top of that. Well, now we can do that even more so, because we can take out some of those payment rails that cause so much of the fees and so much of the friction. And we can unlock more things like credit. We can unlock money that's sitting in my pocket, because now it doesn't necessarily have to go through the bank to find investments or to find lending. There are so many ways that I can unlock even more value, and this can happen globally, because what the internet did to bring us all together from a communication standpoint, from an information standpoint, now we can do the same from a money and from a finance standpoint. So once I show everyone what I have to offer, whether it's art or music or writing or some sort of expertise in numbers or data modeling or running a business or running a farm, whatever it might be, now I have more access to capital. I have more access to prove myself. And on top of that, I have more access to things like insurance in a decentralized format. So when we start talking about what the excitement is around decentralized finance, we've talked in the past about just efficiently getting money from my pocket, from someplace it's not being used efficiently to someplace else that can use it efficiently. Now what we're also taking is you can utilize my expertise or something else I built up of value, like my credit, or something again like my car, my reputation. Something else can be utilized as value and unlocked that I previously wasn't able to unlock, or previously wasn't able to unlock as easily. And when that happens, you're going to see an explosion in growth, and most importantly, an explosion in growth and hopefully in those that are lower down in wealth. And hopefully we take this wealth gap that we have in the world and we start to compress it a little bit, because those that previously were unable to participate now can take some of that value that they have, and we've given them the ability to unlock it. So that is what's so exciting about DeFi, and the idea of being able to unlock some value that in the past was previously locked in, and many people were not able to get any sort of value for it. Now they can do that. So that's what's so exciting. Hope you enjoyed this video, this talk. We hope you will subscribe to the channel here. We hope you will check out our academy to learn a little bit more how you can invest safely, learn more about DeFi, crypto, how that works, how you might be able to utilize it. Check us out, our website, interaxis.io, on Twitter @interaxis8, and we'll see you in the next lesson.